Episode 170. Private Police Officer Komori Moriko's first real day on the job begins now, under the payroll of Fortemps Manor. The job being to escort the two heirs on each of their excursions or whatever. Hopefully no one's planning an assassination. I don't think they have any enemies, right? What am I talking about? They're rich. They must have tons of enemies. Although as far as the rich high houses go, these are like the most... well, they're the most good guys out of the high houses, aren't there? We spent a lot of time with House Hayanarte, but I wouldn't say that they're very altruistic at Hayanarte, though the same could be said about Fortemps. Although, can't really say anything about Fortemps because we technically don't know anything about them, at least Komori doesn't. For her right now it's just a job, but I guess we'll learn a bit more about them. We get the choice of going into either Azisa... no wait, not that. Forget I said that. Going to either... where's this place? Abalasia Spine. Yeah, just pretend I mispronounced Abalasia Spine and didn't say Azisa, even though it appears on the map, which is kind of not really a spoiler. Maybe a spoiler, I don't know. The fact that you can see it on the map tells me it's not really a spoiler, but it doesn't matter. Either to Abalasia Spine or just more of Quartus, like we saw down here, except to the west. I don't really want to go into the snow, especially when it's a bright and beautiful day outside. So yeah, we're going to Abalasia Spine, with a Manolane, and Honoroid, maybe? Shall we be off then, old girl? Ah, but where are my manners? The Manolane de Fortemps, second son of Count Edmond de Fortemps. True-born, that is. Right, here we go. Yes, I know what you're thinking, and you're absolutely right. What ill fortune to be born second in a society where the eldest inherits all. Okay, that wasn't what I was thinking. Are we going to talk about Horchefant? Do we talk about it in the main story? I don't know. Oh, my brother would never cut me off, 'tis true. But who could be satisfied subsisting on a meager allowance, forever overshadowed by his sibling? Not I, old girl, not I. Which is why I need your help to ensure that this business in the sea of clouds goes swimmingly, so that the tales of my great deeds can win me a place in the people's hearts. Or better yet, raise me higher in their estimations than Artoriel. Ambitious, I grant you, but then I do have a legendary hero to do my bidding. Watch it. We're doing the job, but we're not your whipping girl. Oh, don't look at me that way. Ah, he could tell. We were glaring at him. I jest. Anyway, we are to aid the good men and women of House Hayanarte. See, I didn't realize this was actually happening. All that time I spent with House Hayanarte. Komori can just pretend that she was doing it because she knew this was going to happen. She was just jumping the gun or getting a head start. She gets some brownie points just by coincidence. They have ever been steadfast friends to our house, though they've fallen on hard times since the calamity, poor blighters. As for what precisely we will be doing, well, what fun would it be if I told you everything in advance? Just come along with me to the airship landing. We'll need to take the airship to Count Cloudtop. I guess his actual whipping boy is coming along too. And we could accept the mission over there, but I don't think that makes sense chronologically. We can't be in two places at once, so... Bright and beautiful day. So very rare, at least it feels rare, here in Quartus. Despite how bright and beautiful it is, I doubt we can actually... Yeah, it's always foggy down there. That's the broom. Not like the broom, it's also the foundation, but the weather, I mean. This weather phenomenon is called broom. I learned that. Despite seeing broom for years and years on my main character, I only just learned this recently. Broom is fog, that's it, basically. No broom up here though. Bright and beautiful. So bright and beautiful. I'm noticing that the hat's shade of blue is a slightly different shade of blue from the jacket. This is the closest shade of blue that you can get to the hat, I think. With the limited dyes available to you, you don't exactly get full RGB control over these things. It's not going to bother me that it's a slightly different shade of blue. Not really. Besides, the pants are a different shade of blue too, so it doesn't really matter. Who cares? And Manaline doesn't care. Look at this nonchalant pose. Like a true born, or a true second-born son. Not a care in the world. Everything has been taken care of, old girl. Simply tell the attendant when you are ready to board, and away we'll go. And you, Honorort? Ah, my lord, there is still the matter of the bill. Certainly hope he's paying for us. Are you ready to depart, madam? The airship bound for Camp Cloudtop will be leaving shortly. Yeah, previously this guy was denying us the airship due to bad weather, and now the weather is great. What a coincidence. A bunch of floating rocks, the Sea of Clouds. Above Abolossia's Spine, which is the mountain range in the north of Eorzea. You don't actually get to explore that mountain range, just this.
Upon an airship, conceived within the fecund mind of Sid Garland, renegade prodigy of Garlemald, who had come to call Eorzea home. High into the heavens, where isles of earth and stone floated as clouds, a frontier the knights of Ishgard had scarce begun to explore. To a fledgling outpost, within the Sea of Clouds, where careworn scouts ever scanned the skies for winged shadows, she came.
I forgot there was narration. All I was saying is that you don't explore the actual mountain range far below us, just these floating islands. Although there is lore for those mountain ranges, or that whole place below us. I think the warrior class comes from there or something. Not here, though. Here there's just birds and Ishgardians for some reason. Oh, great. And the weather here is terrible. Not in the cutscene. Go figure. You sit down to record just because it's good weather outside, and you take one airship like, I don't know, 15 meters away to the east, and the weather's terrible over here. My lord, you mustn't wear your belt so loose, or you'll trip over your own sword. Awfully cold up here. I mean, of course this may not be blessed with the warmest weather in the world, but compared to this it seems positively balmy. Really? Here? I would think it's less cold. There's no snow. Maybe it's just the wind that makes it feel colder. And of course, our hero is wholly unperturbed. You don't have to maintain that strong, silent persona all the time, you know. But we do. We're a cop. That's like Cop 101, right? If we had a pair of sunglasses, that would complete the look. And actually, I guess we could get face wear to maybe go with this. I'm not sure if sunglasses are something I can get at this point in time, though. Or even what options for sunglasses are available. Maybe there's something in the gold saucer. Well, it doesn't matter. We don't want to look too much like a cop. Never mind. We need to find Lady Laniette. She is in charge of the garrison here. Oh, and when we find her, just follow my lead, yes? Excellent. Camp Cloudtop always, well, not just Camp Cloudtop, the entire region, a sea of clouds, struck me as a strange choice for Heavensward. Because it's all about dragons and whatnot, right? But I guess the title is called Heavensward, and this is the place that is Heavensward. Don't have to read this. It's just a chocobo guy again, as always. Just to get his icon off my map. I'll probably never use that because I have my own chocobo. Who can't fly yet? Wait, do we have? Do we? We didn't have to do this in A Realm Reborn. I almost forgot. Yeah, we don't have the compass yet for the Aether Currents. I'm gonna have to start thinking about that. I'm sure they'll, like, tell me all about it. At some point. First things first. Let's actually get a decent look. Just around. Bunch of windmills. The airship we rode in on. And that's basically it. At least on this area. Who are you and what do you do here? Day in and day out we stand watch, but for what? We all know there's no danger here. The sooner I'm relieved from duty, the better. Yeah, even she agrees. There's really nothing going on here in terms of the actual Heavensward story. No dragons, just a bunch of rocks. But I guess that's the point, right? They talked about how this place was just kind of a proving grounds or like a testing grounds or something for people that don't actually need to get into the real effort with the dragons or whatever. May need to like bring them up or something. And I guess there are certain other benefits to branching off into this region. What's the actual way down? I could just jump down. I feel like taking the scenic route. The road that was paved by everyone before me. Which is right down there. Naturally, this place was created with flying in mind. You can obviously tell. But as an extension to that, we can't really see it here, due to all of the fog of war on the map, but we can only explore a certain portion of this area. We don't have to unlock flying for the other parts of the map. But we can only get to those parts of the map that are like only accessible by flying currently, after reaching a certain point in the story, which unlocks like a different entry point, like over here or something. Actually, all of these different entry points kind of have me confused. They all lead to the pillars or something. I think there's also like another one, well, just these three, and this one that somehow goes to the Western Highlands. The point being that this is something new to this expansion and all expansions moving forward, that in order to get the most mileage out of all of these regions, they kind of split them in two. One for the early area story stuff, and then you don't want to burn out on the entire area all in one go, so they have you return for story reasons to the same area, but a different half of it, at a later point in time, which obviously has higher level enemies fitting the higher level of the story quests you're taking on, and just a bunch of other story things going on, so we're here in the southern half, with Laniette. doing the level whatever requests, 50. Mistress Moriko, welcome. I am Sir Lenite de Hayanokte, commander of the forces stationed here at Camp Cloudtop. Where's your gun? I thought Hayanokte was all machinists. That's not true. We've met like a lot of people from Hayanokte, right? Or at least the Lord and his heir. So the Lord must have employed like a bunch of non-machinist people, obviously. Strange though it may sound, I have long dreamed of meeting you. I'm in your debt, you see, and shall ever remain so. Were it not for you, my younger brother Francel would have been executed upon the world of a false inquisitor. Oh, right. We were actually working with Hayanokte even way back in the main story. Francel the dragon cultist, who wasn't actually a dragon cultist. Now we're the Inquisitor, / cop, or whatever. Alas, a knight must go where duty demands, and thus have I been unable to seek you out. But by the grace of Halone, I have been granted an opportunity to thank my brother's savior in person, and to call upon her generous aid besides. Truly I know not what I have done to deserve this double blessing. Yes, lavish me with praise, says Komori. Ahem, 'tis a pleasure to see you again, my lady Lanayette. There's another I in there, so is it Lanayite? Lanayite. Sure, we'll go with Lanayite. You cut an elegant figure as always, a steel-clad rose, equally at home on a battlefield or in a ballroom. Lord Manoline, if it is not too much to ask, I should be grateful if you would allow me to finish speaking with Mistress Moriko. Nobody wants him. Camp Cloudtop was established to provide early warning of impending Dravanian incursions. Okay, so it does have a use. The high elevation afforded by the floating isles makes it ideal for this purpose. Well, hopefully the weather is good most of the time, because if it's always foggy, you'll never see those dragons coming. Naturally, it also makes us a ready target for attack. We are not defenseless, however. The Protector, our largest and most advanced airship, is capable of downing all but the mightiest dragons. Alas, as you may have noticed, it is currently undergoing repair. What is worse, our efforts have been hampered by an indigenous beast tribe known as the Vanu Vanu, with whom we have had several skirmishes already. Here we go again. Still this thing. Even in Heavensward, I guess they are Eorzean. No beastman is a match for the man of Ishgard. Bring me a birdman and I'll show him a thing or two. I fear much and more may be asked of you in the days to come, Mistress Moriko. It's been several episodes since I completed a main story quest. Let's keep the momentum going. Right after we talk to Manoline. Sorry guy, you got no game. Tried to follow your lead, but didn't go anywhere. Ah, my lovely lady Lanayette. I shall win your heart yet. Sure you will. My lord, pray do not do anything rash. Alright, the weather's nice now, but it's almost nighttime, so let's try to get a few more cutscenes in with the good weather. While I understand Count Edmond's intentions, I would rather not waste valuable time ensuring that the young lord doesn't get trampled underfoot. True, it is entirely possible that he may learn something from this experience, but if left to his own devices, I think it far more likely that he will make a mess of things. Tell him that I would like him to keep watch for Dravanian outliers. Then when you have a moment to speak with his manservant in private, make it clear that it is his responsibility to keep Manoline from shirking his duty. Ah, here we go. The whole rich kid nepotism, do a real job, but not really, it's a fake job kind of thing. We knew this was going to be the case. Remember to stress that this is a task vital to the continued survival of Camp Cloudtop, or something to that effect. I must say, is it me, or is the air here a bit, what does that mean? What's the problem? It's a beautiful day. Well, it's almost a beautiful night. It's probably not going to be a very beautiful night. Not as beautiful as day, unfortunately. Really wish I was here during the day. A request from the night? Why didn't she think to ask me in person? Surely she must see me standing here but a few yawns away. I think that's where she likes you. Oh, never mind. What is it? A mission of paramount importance. Keep chat. Watch for Drevonian outfliers. Alright, straight answer. Roam about and keep an eye out for anything unusual. And then just give him nothing. I think Komor just kind of stares him down. Yeah. Well, that's rather childish of you. Oh, okay. It's not an actual real answer. Maybe Komor just forgot momentarily. I tend to do that myself. Forget exactly what a person told me to do the moment after they tell me. Just walk around and, I don't know, look for something. Look for aether currents. We're not doing that yet, but it'd be nice if we could. Oh, is that all? No leading the van against the Beast Tribe's stronghold or some such? Well, it is a rather droll task, but who am I to deny her? I shall begin at once. Ah, Mistress Moriko. I do not believe I have properly introduced myself. My name is Honoroyd. Honoroy? I think it's Honoroy, but I always say Honoroyd in my head. I'll just say Honoroy out loud. And I serve at the pleasure of Lord Amanelaine. Lady Lanite would have me accompany Lord Amanelaine on his mission? Ah, I understand completely. I will do my utmost to keep him out of harm's way. No, we're not following. I guess we do the real job. Were he of another house, mayhap I would not feel obligated to go to such lengths to preserve his safety and dignity. In any case, I appreciate you speaking to him for me. It would seem he actually listens to you, at least more so than others. Or mayhap you are more skilled at this than most. I suspect that you have had to humor your fair share of difficult men before. Oh, that's it? Huh, that was a quick one. We're flying through them now. Or was that even a quest? Did they? This wasn't one of those things, right? In A Realm Reborn, they revised a bunch of main story quest stuff to make the story flow better. I'm pretty sure they didn't do that for Heavensward. I can't imagine why this was such a short quest otherwise. Unless there was something like, you wander around with Amanelaine for a bit, maybe kill a few mobs or something and they just cut that out. I can't imagine, but I guess I'll look it up afterwards. Maybe it was just free EXP for players starting out Heavensward, to get them up in level or something. I don't know. Now that Amanelaine is out of harm's way, we are free to discuss matters of actual import, such as our struggles with the Vanu. We first encountered the Vanu several years ago, when we had just begun to explore the Sea of Clouds. After an exchange of pleasantries and gifts, we received permission to construct a permanent lookout post. Okay, at least you did that. There was peace between our peoples for half a year, until suddenly, for reasons unknown, their attitudes towards us changed. Are you sure it was reasons unknown? Are you absolutely sure? It could be. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They began to attack our foraging parties without provocation, forcing us to rely more heavily on supplies flown in from Ishgard. But words are no substitute for first-hand experience. Go and see Sir Marielle. She could use your assistance. I didn't realize Sir also applied to female knights. Not like Sir, but Sir? I guess it's just pronounced Sir anyway. In fact, I wouldn't know Yeah, there's probably no equivalent for Sir, like SCR, if there was like a female one, so it's just unigender or whatever. Rather than listening to me go on and on, I think you would benefit from first-hand experience with Ivanu. Speak with Sir Mariel. She'll be expecting you. It's like a little playground or something, or a huge one. Made even huger by our own size. How's the weather? Mistress Moriko, I presume. Irizanai told me you were coming. I hear tell you've never faced Ivanu before. Well, spend enough time on patrol and you're sure to cross paths with them eventually. These birdmen are native to the Floating Isles. I say birdmen, but they're not at all like the Ixal. Unless that Ixal's mother was a Gigas. Here, let me mark several locations on your map. If you discover any Vanu in these areas, kill or drive them away. Alright, we're going right into it. For all I know, you may find nothing. If so, let us consider it an auspicious omen. Kind of taking the benefit of the doubt pretty far here. If we're going to kill them, maybe we're just going to drive them away like she said. If we reduce their HP to 0 and they fade away into nothingness, their character models, we'll just assume we're driving them away. Plus, if we're just standing here and they attack us out of the blue, I guess that's fine. Well, if they do attack us out of the blue, I guess it would partially be our own fault. We're not exactly dressed like someone you want to be friends with, to say the least. Wouldn't even know where the aether currents are without the compass. So even like if I could collect them, I don't think I can just wander around for them. If I happen to see one, I guess I could try picking one up. Maybe they don't even spawn until you get access to like the compass or whatever. I guess I didn't mention it, but the whole introduction of flying means that you have to go through a new thing that wasn't present in A Realm Reborn before. You get flying in A Realm Reborn. Oh. You steel yourself for a mighty struggle, yet find no Vanu lying in wait. Alright. You get flying in A Realm Reborn just for completing the story, because they didn't plan for flying back then, so they just give it to you. But here where it is planned, you have to work for it. You have to explore the map on foot, so you get an appreciation for the map on foot. And then you can disrespect the map for the rest of the time you're playing the game by flying around. I kind of like this system, but it does mean, well, for most of the time that you're playing the game, you're still just flying around disrespecting the map. It's usually only the first times that you're, or the first few weeks that you're playing the expansion when it came out, that you actually respect the map and its design. Get to experience it up close and personal and whatnot. No, personally speaking, I wouldn't mind disrespecting this map too much. It really is just a bunch of floating rocks without really rhyme or reason. Of course, this Western Highland is not too much better for me. Just a bunch of snow. And a lot of the time you can't even see that because there's a blizzard. There are landmarks in both of these maps. But I wouldn't call it too exciting. Well, it's at least exciting to be here compared to the Realm Reborn areas. Not that these are better than the Realm Reborn areas, I just mean that it's finally something new. After playing so long in those areas on Komor. Well, they attacked us, and we quote-unquote drove them off. Finished with your patrol? Anything to report? Birds. Huh. Maybe it was too much to hope for a day without a skirmish. At least I can take solace in the fact that Halone has blessed us with a mighty ally. But why are they doing it? I guess they don't know. Excepting your recent clashes with the Vanu, it cannot have escaped your notice that things here are rather peaceful, to the detriment of our garrison's discipline. Despite being built as an observation post, we have yet to record a single intrusion by the Horde. That is why, as far as everyone is concerned, Camp Cloudtop is a backwater of no significance. And of course the pride of our camp, the Vaunted Protector, is in a perpetual state of needing repairs, so even when the Holy See, even were the Holy See to come under Dravanian attack, we would be unable to fly to their aid. Simply put, Mistress Moriko, this is where our ambition comes to die. If you haven't aspirations for advancement, you'll be right at home. However, I would like to think that enthusiasm can be just as contagious as apathy. If you'll indulge me, I would have you seek out the sentries and stoke their fighting spirit. Psych them up, you might say. Try to psych them up, as you might say. That should serve to liven their spirits. I guess psych isn't in the typical Ishgardian lexicon. Could just jump off. Oh wait, was he on? No. I got psych here, right? Yeah, right down the hotbar. It's one of my most used emotes for psyching up any players I happen to duty roulette with. I don't know if it actually psychs them up. Maybe it's just for me. Is there anything fluffier than a cloud? How about a fluffy, big fat paycheck? You gotta work for it. You can be like me, accepting bribes from high houses, if you put the work in. What? What is it? Is it the Horde? By the Fury, whatever possessed you to do that? I'm awake. Worry not. After the shock you just gave me, I doubt I'll sleep for a fortnight. Over across. Gotta go around this way. Why is someone stationed all the way out here? The answer is they're not stationed here, they're just being idiots. Well, one of them is. As you wish, my lord. Should I spy an outflyer, I will alert you immediately. And Manolane, what are you doing? There's nothing over here. Hello there, old girl. Seen any Vanu champions yet? No? Oh well. Let me know when you have, so I can make myself presentable for the... You're supposed to be giving me my paycheck. Is it an attack? What should we do? What should we do? How am I supposed to get my paycheck if you don't get paid yourself? You had me fooled there for a moment, old girl. An amusing jest, albeit a tad cruel. Surely you must realize how unsuited I am to the monotony of mere sentry duty. Yet still you tempt me with the promise of excitement. No, this won't do. This won't do at all. Lady Danite will give me a grand mission, as befits my station. Oh great. What have we awoken? And last one way over there. And again, why is someone stationed so far away? Is there like a little outpost right here? Well, at least she is actually keeping watch, I think. That direction is the Vanu encampment, I think. Or something. Maybe that's not what she's doing. Or he. Pardon me. You're looking rather grim. Why so serious? The Vanu are no real threat, and the Dravanians couldn't give a fig about us. Oh yeah? Oh. That's not what he wants. Aren't you an odd lass? Don't you have somewhere to be? I guess I could just kind of screw around, and every time a quest gives me the option to do an emote or something, I could try to collect all of their extra dialogue for doing the wrong emote, but I don't feel like doing that much work, so we'll just avoid that in the future. Ye gods, where did that come from? Fine if you insist. I will make an effort to be more alert, but really I fail to see the point. We're hundreds of miles away from the front lines, which is just the way I like it, thank you very much. Well, that's fine. Why try to push? Not everyone has to be a hero. Sometimes you just do the job. Yellow cat. Kinda cute, isn't it? It's just like this flying cat thing. The wings are like... it's like clothes it's wearing. But apparently they're born with it or something? That might be a joke. Not a houseless thing. I guess I'm just low level. Many thanks, Mistress Moriko. Already I can see a change in our sentry's behavior. Well, don't expect it to last. Beg your pardon. Lord Amandalene said what? Oh, well, I have no doubt that Lady Lanayet will do her utmost to oblige him. And now we're 52. Gonna get a lot of experience. I'm not sure how I want to distribute this. Do I maybe want to turn some of these in as a black mage just to keep my level up? Although no, my level is already pretty high as a black mage, so I don't even really have to worry about that. Yeah. If we happen to want to stop pretending that our magic is gone and switch back to black mage, by which I mean we come up with a pretend reason why our magic came back and we want to switch back to black mage, it'll be high enough level to take on whatever quest we want in the story. At least up until level 58 or so. It's almost level 58. If Lord Amandalene is going to demand a more dangerous duty, then I expect Lady Lanayet will want you to accompany him. Now you might as well speak with her sooner rather than later. There's no use avoiding the inevitable. I'll have you know I trained with some of the finest instructors in Ishgard. You and me, we could march right into a Vanu stronghold and give them all what for. Oh dear, and just when everything was going so well. Mistress Moriko, Lord of Manolane, has just informed me that mere sentry duty is beneath him. I understand we have you to thank for this epiphany. Well, you told us, well, not you, the other lady, who you told us to help, told us to psych people up. We psyched him up. That's all we did. Well, there's nothing for it but to give him something more demanding then. Can I count on you to keep him safe? Excellent. We are in constant need of fresh water in Camp Cloudtop. As there are no underground sources we can tap with wells. That's a good point. How do they get water up here? However, there is a unique variety of crystal we have recently discovered, which may enable us to obtain water through other means. Water just pours out of a crystal or something? Or, I guess she'll explain. These spring crystals can be found in Vorsian-Saran, to the east of here. I would have you and Manolane bring one back to us. You may have to contend with feral beasts which populate the lakes, not to mention Vanu scouts ranging from their nearby settlement. Of course, that all pales in comparison to keeping the young lord entertained, but you have doubtless grown accustomed to that by now. Good luck and be safe. Alright, now we're actually doing real bodyguard, escort, private police duty. Whatever. Oh dear, you already said that. Lady Lenite told you to tell me about my mission once again? If I didn't know any better, I'd swear she was avoiding me. Anyway, what is it? This is still an option, and it won't progress the story, but let's just give him the cold shoulder. Again with the silent treatment? Really now, that's just mean. That's mean. Did he actually remember that we gave him the silent treatment before? Is that dialogue different if I didn't do it before? I didn't think Final Fantasy had that kind of, technology. A lot of the dialogue choices just funnel back into the same branch. The only times that they kind of remember your dialogue choices are usually in the same cutscene or the same quest or something. But this is across different quests, so do they actually have a bit somewhere in save data where they remembered what you said? Somehow I doubt it. A vital mission on the success of which the very survival of Camp Cloudtop rests. The procurement of potable water. We're not going to say that. Komori is very frank. Go and fetch a spring crystal from the floating lakes to the east. With me. You are not making this sound terribly appealing. Still, I shall be glad to have you along. Come along then. Now, it's not him that gives us our paycheck, it's his dad, so we don't have to respect him. I do like a Manolane, though. It's just like Komori doesn't respect him. I can at least say that he's more memorable to me than his brother, Artoriel, who will do some quest quests, and maybe my experiences with him will give me more reason to remember him, now that I'm playing through the game a second time. And then of course Horsefont, who is also part of the family. Obviously memorable in his own right. I don't think they mention in the main story, but well, I'll just leave it up to the main story if they do actually get to it. If I feel like we go on long enough that they don't actually explain it, maybe I'll talk about what I know about Horsefont, his whole backstory and why he's not a super rich heir like these other two guys. Great. Just kill them. I heard the minstrel's tales of these lakes. Sorry. We're in the middle of something. I should actually bring out my chocobo, shouldn't I? Make these go by a bit faster. but I never honestly believed that they were real. So, this is Vorsian of Legend, or the Vorsian of Legend, an area of Vandu in sight. How disappointing. I could do with some sport. Those are people of Manolane. I know, why don't you and I make it a competition? Whoever finds the superior specimen wins. Honoroi shall judge our entries on size, purity, and say, aesthetic sensibilities. Let us begin at once. I wish you would have at least stayed within sight. Don't worry, Komori. I'm a master of aesthetic sensibilities. I'll pick out the right crystal for you. So there's just water up here, coming from the crystal. I know I did all of this on my main character, but I guess I never really internalized the fact that this water just kind of springs forth in the middle of the air, just like floating out of nowhere, which I guess isn't too different from a cloud. Maybe these crystals just gather a lot of ambient moisture in the air, similar to how clouds form, except like accelerating the process, making them appear on floating rocks in the sky. This water crystal does not appear to exhibit the properties described by Lady Lanite. Perhaps you should inspect another. And what's worse, it has no aesthetic sensibility. Now this one does not have aesthetic sensibility. I can tell from a mile away. But Komori's going to check anyway, she doesn't believe me. This water crystal does not appear to exhibit the properties described by Lady Lanite. Perhaps you should inspect another, Komori. I tried to warn you, Komori. Now this one is absolutely aesthetic. You can tell just by looking, can't you? Maybe you can't, Komori, but I can. Just look at that interact bar. You can tell just from that. It's slower than usual. This crystal appears to be secreting a steady stream of aesthetic sensibility. Perhaps it is the spring crystal Lady Lanite seeks. A crystal so aspected to water that it feels wet to the touch. It feels wet, but it's not actually wet. Water is just like coming out from it, right? Or maybe it works like a magnet. Water doesn't come from it, it attracts water. That's pretty much what I already said about the condensation, but I guess my initial thought would be that it collects water inside of itself. It expels it or something. Probably not the case. Where is this guy? Ah, Mistress Moriko, have you brought your entry for the contest? Yeah, and we're going to win. My understanding of such things is limited, but can this truly be used to draw moisture from air like water from a pump? Fascinating. Hey, we know that guy. Lord of Manolane has been gone for an awfully long time. Did you perchance see him while you were searching for your crystal? Even he must realize the dangers of wandering too far in such a place. Are you sure about that? Mayhap I am worrying about nothing, but I must ask that you assist me in looking for him, Mistress Moriko. We shall find him more quickly if we split up. Pray search the southeastern area of Vorsian as swiftly as you are able, and rendezvous with me in the north. Farewell and good luck. Is that kid alright without an escort? Here we are worrying about a Manolane who has a sword around his shoulder, or his waist. And that kid seems to be able to take care of himself better than he can. Maybe the kid is like a botanist or a miner or something, and he has that one skill that they have that makes them invisible to enemies. Very powerful skill, that. Like a floating acorn or a flower? Weird. No. We're doing the story now. No time for mobs. Can you see anything, Komoy? I can't. You survey the surrounding area for a time, but see no sign of a Madeleine. Maybe you'll have better luck on that rock over there or something. Still parts of the map that we could get, but I'll worry about the map, like unfogging the map, once we have access to the Aether Compass. Obdella? What is that thing anyway? Like a little worm? Tsuchinoko maybe? Oh really? Get out of here, you. And that's far enough. That's a quick survey. It must mean we find something. Mistress Moriko, Lord Amaniline. Lord Amaniline has been taken by the Vanu. They had my lord surrounded, a whole gang of them. Please, you must come quickly. Does this mean we win the contest? We're not doing the fate. New part of the map. And like this, we've barely explored any of it. Actually, I thought we explored half of it by now. Or we've gone from one side to the other. But yeah, this would be the lower half, available to the beginning of the expansion. The rest of it, I don't remember when you unlock it. Way over there, that's the northern half. Can't exactly recall what goes down over there. And here are the Vanu. I don't think they'll mind us. Oh wait. We shouldn't be here. We're just going to pretend that they're asleep on the job. They didn't notice us walking right up. Should have been over here, accepting this. We're not supposed to stroll right into the camp. That diffuses all of the tension of the scene. We got a quest, huh? Okay, try to make it quick. Or rather, an instance, a duty, whatever. Yeah, they're called duties, right? They're all called duties, even the ones like in multiplayer. This is just a solo instance, that's what it's called. The Vanu have taken him into that village. They have to present their chieftain. To present to their chieftain. I will make haste to the Rose House and tell Lady Thanite what has happened. Yet by the time I return with aid, it may have already may already be too late. Forgive me for asking, Mistress Moriko, but should you spy an opportunity to sneak past the sentries and rescue Lord Amaniline in my absence, I beg you to take it. I know he can be a trifle presumptuous and insensitive and, well, insufferable, but he doesn't deserve this. I'm sure Komori is confident in her gunplay to go in guns blazing. And now the guards are awake. Pardon me? They noticed. Can't exactly summon our Chocobo here either. Oh, but they have a lot less health than I would have thought. Cool thing about range class like this, unlike the mage which has to stand still to cast, we can just literally go in guns blazing. It's the machinist special, just dragging all of these enemies along with you. This is awfully fun. Literally charging in as quickly as possible. By the fury, you're not going to eat me, are you? That's not what you do to prisoners, is it? Komori, I'm over here. Don't have to read all of it. The temporary stuff is hard to read in the middle of battle. Maybe I'll only stop if I actually... if I'm actually stopped in the middle of battle by, like, the cutscene or something, where they hold you in place or whatever they do. Chief Honuvanu. I guess he's not a combatant. Woo. That was thoroughly unpleasant. Protecting a Amaniline, huh? Well, we were hired as a bodyguard. Get down, Mr. President. I'm doing a bad job with the heat gauge by overcapping, or rather, overcapping on these items, these abilities. It doesn't really matter though. Get up. Is he following? Okay. Is he following us or going on his own? Yeah, so he is. People tend to dislike escort quests for various reasons. I think the main reason people dislike them is because it feels too easy to fail if the escort dies or something or does something stupid. In this game though, it's pretty easy, so I don't think we really have to worry about it. Plus we get to do this cool thing where we're firing back at our pursuers, kind of like we're riding in the back of a car, shooting at people coming up behind us. That's what it feels like to me right now. Yeah, Machinist is a pretty good choice for... well, for gameplay stuff, and also just for feeling cool. And there he is. It's Horsefont, everyone. No, that's not Horsefont. Or is it? Yeah, that's Horsefont. That was faster than I thought. All thanks to Machinist.
Reinforcements?
Oh, there's voice acting.
Anger of Honu, chief of mighty Vundo, roils like blackest storm clouds. Offer netherlings to the white. Cloud sea swells, and he comes.
You're gonna need a bigger gun, Komoe. Maybe like a harpoon gun.
The white, mighty Bismarck, lord of the mists!
A flying whale? By the fury, it's a primal. We must away. Damn! Bloody typical. All right, we're going in.
Aye, aye, Chief.
All aboard!
So much for an uneventful first day on the job. Not exactly sitting around eating donuts or something. Frightened, me, for a fleeting moment at most. We are all of us still alive, my friend. Let us take solace in that most simple of blessings. The gods only know what might have happened had we not been around to save you. No need for thanks, though. It's not as if you haven't done the same for us on a few previous occasions. Alright, more than a few. 'Twas what blind chance that brought us together this time, in case you were wondering. The Holy See has petitioned the Ironworks for assistance with this creation of theirs, the Protector. Apparently they just can't seem to get her flying. Anyway, I came to Camp Cloudtop to cast an eye over the ship, only to learn that you had arrived some few days before with an Ishgardian lordling in tow. Small world, I thought. Just as said lordling's manservant skittered into view, babbling about his master having been captured, and you risking all to rescue him, and the rest, as they say, is history. Right, well, I had to cut short our reunion, but I am here on business after all. And the boys are already hard at work. Don't worry, old friend. We'll speak again soon, I promise. Did you know we're wanted for murder? I'll tell him next time. And that next time will have to be next time, as in the next episode. Because now would be a good time to take a break.